And welcome back, and we're here at round 2 at the WCQ European Championships 2014. What we've got today is Jack Brun against Julian Argud. Jack Brun is from Sweden, and I do believe that he's a former YCS winner and the national winner at Sweden this year. And facing him, Julian Argud, a French player. He's also top of his own nationals this year, and we've been told he's quite successful in the local area. By local, we do mean the entirety of France.
Yeah, it's a pretty big local area.
It is a large local area, but yes, he is a very well-known French player. Today, we're not really sure what we're going to be seeing from them yet. They are just getting the cards together.
Just getting
look of it.
Set up.
Yep. So,
and we'll see what we're looking at in just a few moments.
Hopefully soon. There we go.
Here we go. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure who's taking the first turn here.
There's some hands.
But I can grab you Julian's cards as they start to appear in.
So here is, I believe they call the deck type Hat.
Hat trick. Well, I call it hat trick because it works.
Hat trick does work.
And it's Prophecy. Oh, I really like this deck. It's been a personal favourite of mine since it was released back in Return of the Duelist.
Yes, definitely. It could be a spellbook Prophecy. It is definitely a formidable deck type to go up against. I'm not really sure how it'll do against Trap Tricks as such. Trap Tricks, artifact hands.
Be an interesting matchup.
I'm just waiting for the players to make their first move. Not quite sure. I believe. Here we go. Brun there, just here we go. And he starts off with his Spellbook Library of the Crescent.
Yep, this is gonna give him a couple of options. We'll see what he reveals.
Looks like he's revealed Spellbook of the Master.
I can't see what that card is underneath, but there we go. And Spellbook of Wisdom on the end there. So neither player has any idea of which one of these 3 cards is going to Jack's hand.
All 3 would be a definite boost, though.
We'll know, though, in just a moment.
And it looks like the roll's been taken, and to his hand is not Spellbook of Wisdom. Sure, I saw a flash of the artwork there.
Yeah, it's Spellbook of Wisdom, you're right. Temperance of the Prophecy. Okay, this is very powerful card. Activating the effect. This will allow him to special summon a very powerful Prophecy monster in the World of the Prophecy, which will get him back his 2 spellbooks.
World of Prophecy, ridiculously good card.
Yes, definitely.
Especially to have out on your first turn. That's just sort of crazy things that spellbooks can do.
Yeah, it's an alternative start to what Prophecy can do, but he got those 2 spellbooks back as well, so he's got the very powerful monster, and he's got quite a secure position.
So many things that he could do from here, though.
If you're watching at home, you can play along and try and figure out what's going to happen. Okay, so yep, he sets Solemn Warning and Rogeki Break. There we go. And play comes over to Julian.
And the hand hits the field?
Yep. We're going to avoid making as many hand
puns as we possibly can. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what's up next. Battle phase. It's the secret technique of 100 exploding hands. It's by running in the ice hand, is what it looks like we're seeing here. He'll be able to take out one of the spell or trap cards over on the opposing side of the field. And it's
Solemn Warning.
Solemn Warning, which is activated.
Yes, he's activating it in response. Which is going to stop that fire hand from hitting the field as well.
Yes, and it's a little bit of a dent to Julian's life points, but yep, he's setting the Artifact Sanctum, Dimensional Prison, Torrential Tribute. Yeah, I think he's actually pretty comfortable here, even with that imposing.
There is the Book of Wisdom there, which basically is just going to essentially say, no, you're not getting rid of that with Torrential Tribute.
Yeah, or Dimensional Prism. Okay, so we're seeing another Spellbook Library of the Crescent, Spellbook of Secrets, Spellbook of the Master. Quickly refreshes his memory of cards in his hand. Spellbook deck is a very technical deck. You need to make sure that you're searching for all the right cards in the right order.
So yeah, there is a lot of knowing what you've got, what you've played. You essentially need to count cards to be able to play this.
Yeah, it's
all of the poker metaphors.
Yes. Okay, so that's what we have in play. Should be able to get up cards in hand. Okay. Spellbook of Secrets is added. That's a very... This is going to lead to a large chain of plays we're going to see here.
Definitely. Spellbook of the Master. And...
Yep, Julian's probably going to be looking for that opportunity for the Artifact Sanctum. Okay, he goes for it now.
There's quite a lot of artifacts he could be going for right now.
I think there's a Artifact Moraltac, which we're going to see. Another card that we're going to see a lot of this weekend. I'll let you guys have a read of that now. Don't worry, if you tune in a little bit later, I'll bring this card up again.
Yes, we will be bringing this card up a lot today. Although artifacts, very, very popular in the meta at the moment.
Yes, it's probably considered the either number 1 or number 2 pick going into this weekend by many of the players, but then it depends who you ask. Everyone has a different opinion.
Interesting. We saw Monarch in the first game, so...
Yeah, so who knows what could happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're considering... Where's Jack go from here? Ah, right, okay, I see, because he's got that Spellbook of the Master. The Moraltac has taken the World of the Prophecy out to deny Jack that next search with the Spellbook of the Master. It's just, the Artifact deck is, Hat deck is incredibly disruptive. Oh, High Priestess of the Prophecy coming down. And we know, because he has the Spellbook of Wisdom in hand, that he's pretty safe deploying that, summoning that High Priestess onto the field, because we can see what Julian's field looks like here. Okay, so we're now... Yep, he's going to go for the Spellbook of the Master.
There's a couple of plays they could be playing.
We'll see where he goes.
See where he goes with this.
I never like to predict what a Prophecy player's line of thinking is. It's like a very unique train of thought. And unless you're the guy sat there going through it, it'll all make sense to you, even if no one else is.
Yeah.
Is watching.
I mean, Julian has some interesting plays as well. I mean, he knows he has a Wisdom in his hand.
He's revealed it multiple times. It's actually a clever trick with Prophecy, is knowing what cards your opponent has seen. So you can keep revealing the same cards to them for when you have the revealing costs to deny your opponent extra information.
It's also nice to always reveal that Wisdom as well, to say you're not going to be able to play that. And here comes the Torrential.
Yeah,
is he going to save it?
Wisdom, well, does he use the Spellbook of Wisdom? That's the question Jack is asking himself right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's declaring traps, of course.
Yeah, that's right. Card being added to his hand for the Spellbook Magician. Spellbook of Fate. Very, very powerful, quick play spell, and it's another one of those cards that gets around the very, very popular Seven Tools of the Bandit and Wiretap right now.
Definitely. That's one of the... I believe one of the reasons why Spellbook is so prolific at the moment in this meta is because it doesn't really use any traps whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, you've got so much room to customize with, because you're playing... Most of the successful builds that I've seen are playing as few as 9 monsters. 1 second.
He's passing play over there.
Okay.
It's got quite a nice set back row there.
Sorry, we've had something just popped up on our screen at the moment, so it's restricting our view. Hopefully this isn't affecting you guys at home. Okay. Pot of Duality.
Pot of Duality's coming down.
From Dueling. Sorry,
a couple of technical difficulties. Nothing to worry about.
But using the application, I can get a feel for what's going on right now. You guys at home have the advantage that you can still see. Well, that Spellbook of Fate we saw. Very, very good against these fire and ice hands because it just banishes them, which takes them straight out of the game, denies them of their effects, and with the amount of recursion that you have in the Prophecy deck, you're gonna even though that's a limited card, you're going to be seeing it more than once. It's probably, in my opinion, one of the most powerful quick play spell cards in the game. Here we go.
We still have the Pot of Duality out in the field.
Oh, that's good. It doesn't look like we've missed much.
Now, there is a Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare there, which would definitely have helped perhaps a couple of turns ago, rather than at the moment.
Yep, that's the
decision
card. That's
it's worth saying that he has got a Fire Hand in hand, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be caught out by that one a few times. Fire hand.
Yes, Fire Hand in hand. That's what he has.
Yeah. There's a Spellbook.
And he's passed the turn.
Okay, turn comes back to Jack. It's a Spellbook Tower. Around Spellbook Tower, I actually love this card. This is probably my favourite field spell in the entire game. I remember the first time I read this and I was like, so wait, I get an extra draw?
Yes, there is an extra draw. It is.
I was like, where do I sign?
Yeah,
just where
it's
do I
definitely
sign?
a very good card.
And this is one of the reasons that Spellbook decks can play into those late games. The longer that Spellbook Tower is around, the more and more options are going to come back to Jack, and Jack is going to be able to just eventually play through all his opponent's card because his opponent's not getting 2 draw phases a turn.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how to get my deck with Guarded Treasure working. If I can get past the discarding the 5 cards, I've got it going.
And he's just removed to get rid of the Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare. He definitely knew where that was, so it's worth getting rid of it.
Yeah, he gets that effect once per turn with the High Priestess of the Prophecy, so he definitely wants to do that. Okay, Spellbook of
Life.
World is the
World of Prophecy is a good choice,
especially after he's taken that Trap Trick Nightmare hole. Oh wait, okay. Yep, yeah, he's banishing for the cost. Again, never like to predict what's
and no,
it's Temperance.
He's playing Temperance, which means that he's looking to special summon something.
Here we go.
And here it goes.
Let's
just giving a read of the card there before he searches.
Before he lets Jack continue. That's the
and it's the second
High Priestess.
High Priestess.
If you're struggling to deal with one, here comes another one. And if we look at the life points here, Julian's pretty low. This is actually enough damage to end the duel if both of these attacks connect. Okay, it's a Dimensional Prison.
And it's the Spellbook of Wisdom.
Well, we saw one earlier. How does Jack... He might be losing his... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's lost that one. But he does have the second one. He's on his way.
Yeah, that's still a critical position for Julian to be in, because one more attack from that monster and Julian's out.
Let's take a look what's in Julian's hand.
One
which
fire
is
hand.
A fire hand.
And a Solemn Warning. Oh, that Solemn Warning. That's...
What has...
I don't know if the life points have updated there.
Looking at that face down card, it does look like.
Okay, we've got an attack from.
Is he going to
fire hand? Oh, Phoenix Chain. And the Solemn Warning goes saying, yeah, that Solemn Warning not being able to use with so few life points, and it's not looking good for Dueling, if I'm entirely honest here.
No.
Those draw phases start accumulating, and he's so low in life points.
And what's he drawn into there? Let's have a quick look. Cards in hand.
More cards. Just what you need.
Greed. Definitely what we need.
We've got the tower going every turn. It's like, hey, I'll just take some additional cards.
Especially because although he just skip his draw phases, so he wouldn't get much use out of the Grand Spellbook Tower there.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, Jack went on the defensive, and there's a Regeki break to deny Julian of that card D, because he's desperately behind in cards right here, and Jack is just accumulating more and more of these options, and as soon as he gets away out of that fire hand, he's probably going to be pressing for the game-winning attack.
There's the Reckless
Greed. Go for it now. Why not? Spellbook of Secrets. Where does he go with the secrets? He might be able to close this game out. We'll see. He's drawn a Black Corner Heaven and a Regeki break. Oh, yeah.
There is the library there as well. That is using the effect of Priestess.
Yep, to go after probably the Solemn Warning.
Yep.
It's
getting rid of threats that they could have.
Yeah, why risk it when you've got that High Priestess? Yeah, you can see what Jack's going for here. He's got a large banished pile of spellbooks, and Jack actually has that Spellbook of Secrets, so it doesn't really matter what card gets added to his hand from here, because he can search for a different spellbook if it's not what he was hoping for. Okay, so Spellbook of Secrets.
Yes, a Spellbook of Power.
Eternity. Yep, we can see where this is going. Yep, and look. Yep, and yep.
Yep, and there we go.
Yeah,
Julian
the Spellbook of Fate, just taking out that Fire Hand and allowing the High Priestess to get through. That was a fantastic start for Jack. It all went well. He had a very strong turn one. When I play Prophecy, I tend to aim to have the Tower and Fate ready on turn one, but
definitely
having a world that your opponent has to deal with
is immense. I mean, you're gonna have to waste so many of your resources, and it was so effortless to get out that world straight off the bat.
Yeah, and it gave him back his cards, and also, funny enough, emptied his graveyard, so he could get that an extra activation of Spellbook Library of the Crescent.
It was all a very good play.
Yeah, Julian also he got into the position where he was forced to make that attack with Ice Hand, and it backfired and just left him in quite a worrying position. And from there, Jack was just constantly keeping the pressure on, making sure he's searching his deck for the right cards for the situation, and Julian just couldn't get back into that game. So we're going to be going over to side decking at this point. See how Julian decides to deal with the Spellbook matchup. Because of its prevalence at last year's European Championships, I think most high-level players at this stage are very familiar with how the Prophecy deck is working.
I mean, especially seeing as it won at Europeans last year.
With the Spellbook of Judgment, that was what a card.
Yeah,
that was. But no Spellbook of Judgment this time round. So we'll see if Jack can make it 2 years running with the Prophecy deck.
It's quite obviously a deck he has played a lot in the past.
Yeah, the Regeki break's coming out from the looks of it. He doesn't really want to, in the hat deck, he doesn't really want to be Regeki breaking his opponent's Artifact Morale tax that are set.
He's signing in a rivalry of the Warlords there.
Yes, that rivalry will be useful to him in denying his opponent, because he's playing lots of different monster types. Actually, the rivalry, I'm only playing spellbooks if I'm playing the Prophecy deck, so I'll just quite comfortably let this rivalry of Warlords stop you from from playing your cards while
Yeah.
I carry on playing as normal. And based on how quick Jack was able to close that last game out, even if he denies Julian a turn or two of his most optimal plays, or what Julian believes to be his most optimal plays, then he risks losing this game 2-0. But maybe he's feeling a lot more confident after his after side decking against us. We'll see.
It will be a hard side though. And is there anything that would really stop that prophecy that he could side in?
Probably the debunks. The debunks will allow him to stop the priestess when it activates in the hand.
Definitely.
Which takes quite a lot of pressure off, because a 2500 attack monster that can take out one of your cards each turn is... You have to deal with that immediately, or you just won't be able to keep up, especially when Prophecy is searching for its deck for all of the answers to what you have. If you fall behind in that transaction, they're just going to constantly stay one step ahead of you.
Exactly. I mean, it's what Spellbooks does so well, is just search exactly what you need at that moment. And we're into game 2.
Yeah. Game 2. Play probably going to Julian. Very few people choose to go second in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
While we're waiting for the cards to come, I actually have a theory that if somebody could figure out how to build a deck that wants to go second all the time, you could almost guarantee it, because very rarely does a player choose to go second.
Yeah, there's just not much setup that you can really get through that.
Somebody can figure it out. I trust somebody can figure that out.
In fact, that's a challenge. we issue that. Find a deck that can go second and win.
Yep, and then surprise everybody when you don't jump the gun and go, yeah, I'm gonna go first. Okay, so we're getting started here. Julian with Pot of Duality. Zombie World. That's a very interesting trick. It very good against the Prophecy, because it makes them all zombies.
Yes.
And then you can activate so many of your spell books. So Jack is going to be forced to deal with that Zombie World before he can actually make any of his plays. And it's a second Zombie World. Oh dear. So that means even if Jack does have the answer, he might have to jump through hoops to take it out. That second Zombie World could come down here. I'll just pull that one up for you in case you've not seen this one before.
Also would have been a good deck against the a good card against the Monarch deck. But maybe Julian's even considering that.
Card D. He's looking to pick up some extra cards. He's just figuring out what he's... Turn 1 Zombie World. Okay, that seems good. And he's also got the Artifact Ignition, which is a little extra insurance against many of Jack's plays. Particularly if Jack tries to go for that early Grand Spellbook Tower to take out his opponent's Zombie World.
There is a Dioneer in there as well.
Here we are, Jack.
One of my favourite cards.
Okay.
Traptrix Dioneer.
Yeah, so we can just focus on... We're just waiting for an update.
Temperance of Prophecy.
There. Spellbook Secrets. Giving him another option to have a quick look into the deck. Yep, here we go. So
and that's going to get rid of that Zombie World.
Well, he's hoping to. There's an Artifact Ignition in play, and we know Julian has that.
And he is playing it.
Yep. Now he's going for the Artifact Ignition in response to... Oh, this is going to be really bad for Jack. The Artifact Braille attack will be summoned.
Yeah, do you want to bring that up on screen there?
Hold on a second, actually just seeing what's happened here. Yes, here. BL attack. Yeah. It destroys one of his own face down cards, which is the Morale attack, which then is going to be very disruptive and take out that Temperance of the Prophecy.
And unfortunately for Jack, there is now 2 5-star monsters, and we may see a rank 5 hit the field.
Oh, the rank 5s are very, very powerful.
Brutal.
But hey, let's see how Julian decides to play this one. this one out. If I was Julian, I'd be feeling pretty comfortable looking at this hand, especially after this early disruption. There's a Rivalry of Warlords in Jack's hand. The Rivalry not so good against that zombie world.
No, most definitely not.
No, when everybody's already zombies, the Rivalry's not really doing much.
As true in Yu-Gi-Oh as it would be in real life. When everybody's zombies, there's no more rivalry.
Yeah, I guess so. I never really thought of that. That's pretty dark, man.
It is, but also.
He's taking a look at his extra deck here. Trap Tricks Mermello.
Yeah, Mermelio here is going to go and get a Trap Hole card.
There's a lot of good Trap Hole cards.
Oh yes, there is.
Which one Julian will go for? Void Trap Hole.
Void Trap Hole.
Yes.
Interesting. Should we bring that up on screen?
Yep, here we go. Void Trap Hole. Very good against the a potential World of the Prophecy if somehow Jack manages to get that one out, or High Priestess again.
He's getting a massive attack to his life points basically straight into it.
Yeah, this is a lot of damage coming in.
It kind of feels that I don't know whether Julian just got a bad hand last game, or whether he's kind of now realizing what he's playing against. He's playing the game against it, but he seems to be doing a lot better this game.
Yeah, this zombie world is allowing him to completely control the plays that Jack can make, because this spellbook cards are so dependent on you having many of the good, the better ones depend on you having a spellcaster either in your graveyard or on your field, both of which are being stopped out by that zombie world.
And there's the rank 5.
It's Constellar Pleiades. It's fantastic. Again, more disruption. Okay. There's another Grand Spellbook Tower in Jack's hand, so he can take another chance of getting rid of this zombie world. How is he going to play this one out?
The tower.
Grand Spellbook Tower. This time successfully resolving. That nervous shuffle. So, just show you the cards in Jack's hand. Here we go. Constellar Pleiades being activated in the end phase. And I believe Jack just concedes the game. He realizes that he's not going to get through that. That was the hat deck at its best, being so disruptive. Jack couldn't even get going that game.
Jack looking very disappointed at that game.
Yeah, that's kind of the roughest thing that can happen to you there, because that was very comfortable for Julian after side decking. He had the 2 zombie worlds there to counteract Jack, and when he did, he also had the answer to the first Grand Spellbook Tower. So Grand Spellbook Tower is activated, the Artifact Ignition just takes it out. He sets up for more artifacts, and he still has a zombie world that Jack is forced to jump through hoops to deal with that zombie world before he can play.
I just don't think he was expecting a zombie world. I wasn't expecting a zombie world.
I'm sure Jack would have, because zombie world started to catch on a little bit a while ago. I'm sure Jack's seen it before, but I don't think he was expecting to see 2 that early and the Artifact Ignition.
He's thinking about that rivalry of the Warlords there, because of course if again everything's going to be a zombie.
Grr, arg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also noise that zombies make.
Apparently. I've not met one, but I can imagine that's why it sounds like.
Yeah, I've never met a zombie either.
I sometimes feel like a zombie when I go to work in the mornings.
Right. Jack looking a bit more confident. Maybe he's changed his side up a little bit.
Yeah, He knows what his opponent knew exactly how to attack his deck. Jack does have the advantage. Well, you could argue he has the advantage of being able to go first.
Oh, accidentally revealing a card there.
Spellbook of Eternity. So we know he didn't side those out. Yeah. At least one of them.
At least they're still there.
Free information, guys. Right there.
We're not quite being told what time on the round is like.
Okay, here we go. The players are just drawing their opening hands and we're entering game 3. Okay, so we're seeing a Spellbook Library of the Crescent in Jack's hand. Spellbook Magician of the Prophecy. This is
it's not a bad hand.
This seems like a pretty good hand. Just saw popped up on my screen that Julian has drawn the Zombie World again. Yep, there you go, now you guys can see. Artifact Sanctum. Jack electing to start off with the Spellbook Magician of the Prophecy. Here comes a Spellbook Library of the Crescent.
Using that trademark, extremely fast play. Somebody who really knows what they're doing.
Yeah, he knows exactly what sequence he's playing these cards. Yeah, here we go. He already saw all the cards he wanted to see, and he had the secrets in the master. That's why he just put the cards on top of his deck, because his opponent wasn't going to respond to either of those. So he just like, oh yeah, I'm searching for this and then for this.
He does play the tower.
Yeah, so we start off Grand Spellbook Tower, Spellbook Magician of the Prophecy.
But we do know Julian has got that Zombie World in hand.
Yep.
Take him to the Ice hand.
Yeah, just give you a quick look at Julian's hand. Yep, we're going to start off with the Spellbook of Fate coming out to take that hand away.
Zombie World hits the field.
Yep, that's going to remove the Grand Spellbook Tower. And it puts Jack back in the hot seat. Okay, so yep, we just see Julian setting the Artifact Sanctum. So Jack draws. I believe that was a Spellbook of the Master that he just drew for this turn. Reckless Greed. Some interesting ways to play Reckless Greed. Sometimes you find some people use it in the end phase. I usually find you have to, if I don't have a good reason to do that, I'm particularly looking to activate Reckless actually after my turn starts, so I have the most information available to me.
Yeah.
Draw that card and then take my extra 2, as opposed to I'll take the 2 now and deal with the drawback of Reckless. Again, it entirely depends on the situation, but more often than not, I'm more comfortable using that Reckless after my turn starts.
It is pretty fantastic to use in Spellbook as well, especially if you've got the cards to be able to search out what you need after you've drawn as well.
Yeah. So you get all your information, and you know exactly how you want to progress your field. Okay, that World of the Prophecy in his hand. That's not really where you want the World of the Prophecy.
Here comes out another Magician.
Just in case you want to see how awesome this guy is. I really appreciate that artwork.
Yeah.
It's like, I was going to do something, what was it again? Oh yeah, find a Spellbook.
Yeah, that's exactly what that guy's saying.
It's like when you walk into a room and you've completely forgotten the reason why you were there. It's that kind of expression.
And he's getting the tower.
Is it another Spellbook Tower?
Yeah. That's definitely going to get rid of that nice zombie world there. And he has even more options now, because of course he can make a new rank, can't he?
Yep. So we're going to see the answer to that zombie world again.
Jack.
Oh, perhaps. There's the Artifact Sanctum face down. How does Julian, what does Julian do here? Yep, that's the zombie world's going away. Jack just taking a moment to reconsider everything that's happened already.
Yeah, definitely having a look at rank 2s.
Yeah, I think we just saw the D'Augusto Phoenix placed at the top. Doesn't know if he wants to go through with it.
He's kind of worried about that back row.
Yeah, it's
he's going for it anyway. Yep, and there comes the D'Augusto. Just checking there.
Yep. D'Augusto Phoenix. As soon as that. Okay. It's going to activate the effect of that D'Augusto Phoenix, which has the ability to attack twice. And he's also putting that Spellbook Magician back in the graveyard to make sure that the Grand Spellbook Tower can still be used. Julian considers whether or not he wants to use that face down Artifact Sanctum.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't allow the attack come through.
He's letting 2 attacks come through there. That's 3,000 life points straight out of Julian. Consider what Julian's holding back with to keep that Artifact Sanctum. Ice Hand. He checks the number of cards in his opponent's hand before considering his response. Another quick look at the extra deck there. The Mystical Space Typhoon is activated. It's actually a very good time for that Mystical Space Typhoon, since it's happening in Julian's turn. Any artifact monster he decides to summon from the Artifact Sanctum would not actually activate, but he would still get the Artifact Sanctum's effect.
It does not like he's going to activate it.
Perhaps not. Just taking a quick read of the Artifact Sanctum. Grand Spellbook Tower being taken down. He's just counting his spellbooks to activate the effect of Grand Spellbook Tower. Unfortunately, I can't check the contents of the graveyard to tell you how many spellbooks that is, so we'll just see what monsters are coming up from Jack. bit of a discussion going on.
And the judge has been called over.
Yeah. Okay. So they're trying to figure out what's going on
what's
here.
going on there.
It's a bit of a complicated situation because you've got an attack declared, you've got the mystical space typhoon destroying the artifact sanctum, and then the artifact sanctum, when it's destroyed, will then destroy something else, and they're currently just resolving this issue. But so far, this looks a lot closer than either games 1 or 2. Games 1 seemed to go completely Jack's way. Game 2, Julian having all the answers to any of Jack's plays.
Jack there just making a few preventative plays, being a bit more aggressive.
Okay.
Now, is he going to? Oh no, he's passing his turn.
Ah, okay, I see what happened. When the Temperance was summoned, a replay occurred, a new monster had appeared.
Yeah.
And then Julian decided to destroy the Temperance Magician.
Ah.
So that's why...
Here comes another Temperance Magician.
Yep.
Spoke of the Master, copying Spoke of the Power.
Okay. Just give you Prophecy enthusiasts, or Spellbook enthusiasts, the ability to see a little bit maybe into the future. Where do we go from here, Jack? I don't know why I'm asking like a question. It's not like he can actually hear
He
me.
can't answer you now.
No.
Well, he might do in this moment. Just let's see what he plays. He really has so many choices.
Yeah, that's one of the fun things with the Spellbook deck. You generally, when you're playing against it, it looks like you're seeing the same thing over and over, because there is a particular gameplay sequence that it wants to get into. But the way that you get there is always...
It's always a different way.
Yeah.
There's always a fork in the road.
Yeah, you always... because of some of the weird activation requirements on the Spellbooks, is you end up... your sequence of plays gets completely changed.
Temperance has been tributed.
Yep.
Let's see what we get out. And there goes that.
High Priestess of the Prophecy. We know that Julian has an artifact, the Eltac, face down in his spell and trap zone.
Really best choice to destroy.
Yes, but we'll see how Jack reads the situation, because now he's got this High Priestess out.
Jack knows what he's playing, so he knows that there's probably going to be an artifact there, but
he knows what the chances are.
He's
this just popped up. Again, I'll just pull up Spellbook of Fate for you because it has 3 awesome effects. There was a time when you could play 3 of those.
which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
A quick play spell card that returns, just changes something face down defense or face up attack.
There's a handshake. Yep, Jack is going to win this. He's got the 2 attacks coming through from the Gusto, Emerald, and we've got High Priestess of the Prophecy also coming in for more than enough damage to finish that duel.
I think what really stopped that game, I think he's just explaining what he would have done there by the look of it. But the best thing that could have happened is he picked the Ice Hand instead of that back row.
Yeah, after he had no spells and traps, he created a situation where he's playing around the ice hand. And this is one of the weaknesses to the fire and ice hand, is that every deck has the opportunity to actually play around them, even without even changing the cards in the main deck. You have to understand how they work. If they don't successfully destroy the card that they were aiming at, then you're not going to be able to get the next hand. So yeah, we see
just contacting the coverage team there and let them know that the game was over.
Yes, they're very curious to know what's going on. That was a great duel. Game one for Jack. That was just so textbook. Well, spellbook, I guess.
We're still going to be looking a lot of Hat in coming rounds as well, so it's definitely going to be something that we see a lot of.
Yeah, it's the interesting thing will be watching how the players are playing around those fire and ice hands and how they handle the massive amounts of disruption that you're going to be seeing coming from the Artifact Sanctum or the Artifact Maltac and the million trap holes.
I mean, it felt a bit unfair, basically, the way that the spellbox kind of just played around everything that the trap decks were going to do.
Yeah. But then at game two, you look at side deck tech, totally flipping that matchup on its head and putting Jack in a position where he's unable to play the vast majority of his cards and just finds himself just getting beat with just guys running at him.
Yeah. There really isn't much that you can do against that. I mean, it's just a massive barrage of attacks. I mean, the Dagosto Phoenix have really won the game there.
Oh, in match 3, definitely. It's just interesting to see that. It's like very one-sided. This is my deck working. Game 2, this is my side deck working. Game 3, we play it back and out, and it comes around to some clever outplaying.
This is my deck just working. Definitely.
Yeah, and
definitely.
It worked out. Even when that Zombie World was drawn, Jack was more than ready for it.
Yeah.
Dealt with it, and yeah.
Well, he saw it. I mean, he wasn't really that prepared in game 2. He didn't really think, what I'm going to see here is definitely a zombie world. But then game 3, he definitely played around it.
Game 3, he saw what was going on. But I'd say that Julian had a really good side deck hand. Well, really good hand from game 2 because he had the Artifact Ignition as well.
Yeah.
And Jack got just completely blown out of the water.
Definitely.
Okay, we're just giving the notice that we'll be going on a break again very, very soon.
Very soon.
Got
a little bit of time left, though.
We've got a little bit of time.
So it's been quite interesting so far. I mean, we've had Monarch, we've had Spellbook, we've had Hat, and we had, what was it? Yugioh. So we've had quite some interesting matches so far. It'd be nice in the next round if we can get some more interesting new deck types to clash against each other.
We'll see how many people decide to actually go out there and go on the limb and say, hey, you know what, this is a European Championship, I'm going to try something new.
That's definitely going to be the best thing. Now, we are, I've been told, about to cut again, and we'll see you next round. Until then, just enjoy some of the trailers again. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
See you next round.